Less than a week ago, I saw something online that was a complete turn off for me, right? So, a lady was crying and lamenting and talking about how she was in her late 30s and she wasn't married and nobody was asking her out on date anymore. So, she was asking people if she was ugly and stuff. She was in full-fledged, professionally done makeup, right? And then she set up a camera and was crying about it. Now, whilst I may not, personally, I may not agree with her mode of expression, well, it got me thinking as well how sometimes when we don't have something that others have, or if it's not happened for us yet, we think it's the end of the world. Let me tell you a quick story. A lady who happens to be a pediatrician had been married for 11 years without a child. At this point, she was desperately praying for one. So she had done everything possible. Now, almost at the same time, a young schoolgirl, she was about 14, she was tricked into being intimate with a man and she got pregnant. A few of her friends knew about it and somehow, miraculously, she was able to hide it for 9 months. Eventually, she had the baby in the toilet and she and her friends wrapped up the baby and threw the baby in the refuse bin. Now, somehow someone found the baby and rushed the baby to the hospital. The baby's doctor happened to be the same lady that had been married and was looking for a child. Eventually, she adopted the baby. Now, as the baby grew up, somehow, miraculously, the baby had her mannerisms. The baby looked exactly like her. And people wondered what could be happening here. How's this even possible? Well, the thing is, sometimes when we pray for a door to open, God decides to collapse the walls instead. So we should not limit God to answering our prayer in a specific way. Ruth in the Christian religion was not birthed by Naomi, but she ended up being closer to her than family. She ended up being Naomi's future security to a comfortable life, even when Naomi thought she had lost everything. Two brothers, they were twins, went into business partnership and were nominated for a contract that was worth millions. Now, they had the contact base. However, the competitor had experience. Eventually, they lost the contract to the competitor. Now, one of the brothers took it in good faith, but the other brother refused to let go of the thought of that money. Somehow he had made plans for it, even though they hadn't won the contract, so he could not let go. Eventually, he went to the competitor and struck a deal with them to provide them with their contact base behind his brother. After executing the contract, he made a lot of money. Now, there was no bad blood between himself and his brother because obviously he did give his brother something. However, he became very wealthy. It was obvious to everyone that his status had changed. He had moved homes into a bigger home. He had cars. He was going on trips. He had obviously upgraded his livelihood. However, less than a year later, he mysteriously passed away. And a lot of people started to wonder what could be happening here. Is that sometimes financial breakthroughs can expose you to the evil eyes of the enemy. So the hand of God keeps you down till those people are no longer a threat to you. You may be experiencing financial constraints. You may be struggling financially, but it's not supposed to be a bad thing. When King Herod discovered that baby Jesus was the true king of the Jews, he sought to take his life. And Jesus' parents, Joseph and Mary, were advised by an angel to flee. And after King Herod passed away, the angel appeared again to Joseph, Jesus' father, and told him to return Jesus to Israel because those that sought his life had passed away. Two friends in their late 30s were mocked for not being married, and one caved to societal pressure and married the next man available, whilst the other was determined to wait for God's timing. About 7 to 8 years went by, and by this time they were in their 40s. Now, the married one, by her parents, seemed to be doing very well. However, she was hiding domestic violence she was experiencing within her marriage, whilst the single one still continuously faced judgment and mockery from people. Finally, the single one got married to an amazing man that simply adored her, but she was furious that her friend did not attend her wedding, only to find out that the friend had been in hospital for weeks for broken ribs and collapsed lungs, and a few months later passed away. Oftentimes, when we lack something we desire, we tend to think the enemy is at work. Oh, it must be village people. Oh, it must be this, it must be that. Because we have a preconceived notion of what blessings should look like. Oh, blessings should be lots of money. It should be a thriving career. It should be marriage. And yes, those things are definitely blessings. But sometimes God also takes them away from us as protection till it's safe for us to appreciate and enjoy it. So, no matter the situation in your life right now, it may seem unbearable. You may be suffering mockery and judgment from the society. You may even want to give up. But I implore you to change your mindset about it. Look at the situation from a place of gratitude. Because sometimes, a lot of times, rejection is usually God's form of protection. Namaste.